Hi, ladies. So, today I'm going to talk to you about how we can do something about stress. We all have stress, right? And it can be like a midlife sandwich when we get to menopause because potentially you've got elderly parents, potentially you've got children, and then you've got like life stress going on as well. And then you add menopause into the mix, and it can be like the perfect storm. Hi, I'm Ruth, and welcome to Menopause Mastery. I'm here to help you to thrive and not just survive in midlife, in perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. So let's talk stress. We will always have stress. Cavemen had stress. Our bodies are designed to accept stress and deal with it in short bursts. It's very different to what we have now because we seem to have this like low level stress running all the time. Whereas with cavemen, it was very much peaked and then went away again. And that's how our nervous system is designed. So our nervous system, just in really simple terms, we have the parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest side. And then we have the sympathetic on the other side, which is like the adrenaline rushing, run away from the tiger kind of side, which is actually going to get us out of danger. Okay, so we do need both, but we need to be more in our PSNS, our rest and digest side, than we are in the other side. And what's happening nowadays is that we're all living in this really stressy state. And I want to ask you something today. Have you ever just sat down and thought, where do I actually feel my stress? Because normally we're so busy running away from it that we keep ourselves busy. We've got so much to do. We don't ever really give it the time and the energy to think, where is it? What's going on for me? Do I feel it in my shoulders? Do I feel it in my hips, my gut, my head? And for me, it's always been in my left hip, which is very specific, and then in my chest, and it's like a fluttering feeling, like a quickening feeling. So I know that when I get those feelings, because I've done a lot of work around myself in terms of health coaching myself and also mindset, because I do both of those. I tend to work with menopausal women, but I've worked with lots of people. And most people are sitting primarily in their sympathetic nervous system rather than the rest and digest side. So when I get that faster breathing, when I get that hip pain, I know that I have to do something about it. So what I'd like to invite you to do today is actually ask you where you feel it. And think, what might my body need to do to shake off this uncomfortable feeling? So we don't ignore it, we don't just carry on with our day and let it build up and build up and build up, and then it becomes like overwhelm. What we want to do is manage it at the time, okay, and allow our body to process it through. Because that, originally, if you were being chased by a tiger, you would be in a real state of stress. The tiger would chase you, you'd run away and hide, and the tiger would go away, and then you'd be like, oh, phew, I didn't get eaten by the tiger, so now I can relax again, okay? So the stress has just been allowed to peak and then go away. What we're doing is with this low level, as I said before, low level drip all the time. And it's really not serving us. And long term, it can lead to all sorts of things. Lots of dis-ease in the body that can then turn into disease, okay? So what we really want to do is get to grips with these feelings. And Tony Robbins, I remember going on a Tony Robbins weekend. I can't remember what it was called now, I can't remember what he calls them, but Tony Robbins is a motivational speaker, like worldwide renowned motivational speaker. I'm sure that you've all heard of him, and he has this statement, change your state. So what he did with us, he had a massive audience. We were in this great big hall somewhere in Birmingham, I think it was, and basically he was saying that, we don't want to sit with stress. If stress is magnifying in your body, what we want to do is allow the stress cycle to complete itself, which I'll talk about in a minute. So what he said was, let's move it. And he had us all up on our feet, like moving around, singing, dancing. He had some really loud music playing. And he was basically demonstrating how we can allow stress to leave our bodies, okay? And when we allow that, it dissipates. And that's what we want, okay? Because that's how the body was designed. Peak and then trough, and then it goes away. So let me explain what the stress cycle is. So stress is basically a response to some kind of danger in our body or mind, and it triggers our body to get ready to run. So it's like we're about to run away from the tiger. So basically the blood is taken away from the trunk of our body into our extremities, so that if we need to run, our legs have got all that power, yeah? And our arms as well, because we run like that, don't we? So moving is what we need to do, and moving is allowing our body to process that stress, okay? Our body is primed with the stress. It moves blood to our extremities to use more quickly in that way, when that's happening. And so what's the best thing we can do is to move. If we don't, the stress stays stuck in our body, and our body continues to feel unsafe. And we want that safe feeling. When we're in our parasympathetic, in rest and digest, we feel really safe. We feel calm. We're okay where we are. And that's the way we want to live. We want more of that. We don't want drama cycles. We don't want stress cycles. We want peace and tranquility, because that's what's going to give us longevity. Okay. A good bit of stress is going to the gym, actually. But again, that is movement. It stresses the body temporarily, like it would if we were in danger, but then the body relaxes again afterwards. So we do have to be careful with things like exercise, because we can overdo it. But in the main, most people are under-exercising rather than over-exercising. So what can you do in terms of movement? Well, let's say you get stressed and you're at your desk at work. Okay, you can stand up, you could walk to another department, you could walk, if you work at home, you could walk around your house. If you're in the kitchen, you could put some music on, have a little dance around your kitchen. If you're outside in nature, have a brisk walk or a calm walk, around trees, around plants, to make you feel better. And one of the other things we can do is this is so interesting. So basically we have muscles in our calves called the soleus muscle, and they're quite deep in each of our calves, obviously. And if you're stuck at your desk and you're feeling really stressed, one of the things you can do is the calf push-up, or the soleus push-up. And if you don't believe me, you can Google it. It is actually on YouTube, and I can't remember what the title of the videos are, but it's really interesting. So basically you can do this on aeroplanes as well, and they say do it, don't they? You sit down with your feet flat on the floor, and you're going to leave the balls of your feet where they are, and you're going to raise your heels up and down, and that's going to activate the soleus muscle. And actually it's really hungry for blood, so it'll pull a lot of the blood to it, and it gets things moving around the body. It's actually a really clever muscle, and it'll help to dissipate your stress. So there you go. That's really interesting, isn't it? So if you're feeling stressed, the best thing you can do, in summary, is to help the stress cycle by moving and allowing that stress. We don't have to hold on to emotion. Emotion is meant to be, you can tell by the word emotion, it's meant to move through the body and not stay with us, but most of us have it sticking and stuck inside our bodies, okay? So try it and see how it works for you. Also wanted to show you that on YouTube we have our Menopause Mastery book. It's available now. You can order it and it'll come next day, which is so exciting. And it's basically like a self-coaching book. It's got lots and lots of really interesting questions for you to ask yourselves, including questions about stress, so you can work through it at your own rate and get so many answers. It's a bit like a journaling process for you. It is available, as I say, on Amazon worldwide. So please order your copy. And I have lots of other ways that you can actually work with me. I'm just going to talk you through them. So Menopause Mastery is a free menopause group on Facebook. That's where the name for the book came from. I also have another free group on Facebook, which is called It Starts With You. And then I have my main page, which is Ruth Goodwin. If you want to work with me on a one-to-one, we can do some wellbeing coaching, mindset coaching, menopause coaching. I can coach you in any of those areas, and you will move so fast through it on a one-to-one process. And I also have a group called the 90-Day Transformation Group, which is a paid group on Facebook. You can work through that at your own pace. But that's basically all about changing your habits for the rest of your life so that your body and mind are going to feel amazing. I've been Ruth Goodwin. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any shares, any comments, and you want to subscribe, please click the button below to do that. That would help us so much. And anything you want to say, please let us know. Take care. Have a great day.